Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to be constructing a new model for the Lego City, and that is, of course, the Up House. Wait a minute, it's already built. Well, no, I'm actually going to be using the instructions from Rebrickable.com to give this thing a back, because it's more of like a play set. It has an open back. Therefore, I don't think it belongs in the Lego City in its original state. So today, we're going to be upgrading it. So, of course, the upgrade requires the set and also a bunch of additional parts. And I actually went through the inventory here and picked all of these additional pieces. So we're ready to go. My Bricklink wanted list is actually 89% complete, and that's without part substitution. So I'd imagine we're going to be able to build the upgraded Up House. So I'm building this on a glorious day, because every day is a glorious day in the Lego room. Hey, I'm using my new camera and some new editing software, and I've read in the comment section lately that sometimes the audio is only coming through one side on the microphone. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry about that. I'm working on fixing it. Just for some reason, sometimes this camera records that way, sometimes it doesn't. I'm also using some new video editing software, which is taking a little bit of time just to learn how to use, and adjusting to that is obviously a bit of a challenge for me for some reason. I don't know why the audio has been doing that, but I hope it's not in this video. So we're going to have to place the Up House somewhere here in the Lego City as well, because the model is actually going to be sitting on a 32 by 32 base plate. The problem is over here in the residential, well, there's only a 16 by 32 base plate open right there beside the modern family home. So where am I going to place the Up House? There is one spot that's open over there by the tuning workshop as well, but that's sort of a corner build and it doesn't really make sense to have the Up House placed over there. I think there's maybe another half base plate right by the construction site right there. But once again, it's a full base plate, so I'm not too sure where we're going to put this thing. Sort of scratching my head about that. There's one more half base plate beside the Spring Lantern Festival, but that's pretty much it. Interesting. Gonna have to try and figure it out. So I've actually been building this upstairs at the kitchen table with the kids. Benjamin, you got a snowman in your mouth, dude. But the build is coming along quite nicely. Got the base plate made and also the first floor. As mentioned, this is a Rebrickable model, and you can actually head over to Rebrickable.com, of course, to pick up your instructions from BrickArtisan. The original Up House set comes with 598 pieces. This one here requires an additional 483 pieces. It has a grand total of 1,068 pieces. I know the math doesn't work out there, but it's just because you don't use all of the pieces from the original set. Do I think it's worth the upgrade? Right off the hop, I'm going to tell you, absolutely, I think it is, because it's like a complete modular building now. Plus, you've got your Up minifigures. You don't have to buy two sets. You just have to source the additional pieces from your parts inventory or from Bricklink or wherever you buy your parts from, right? We've got some balloons all over the place, and I actually made a change to the sidewalk. The original instructions call for dark gray tiles. I decided to go with light gray, just so it matches up with the rest of my city. We also got a black lamppost there. It's pretty cool. We've got like a gate that's built right into the fence, right? Now, the original facade essentially is the same, but something that's really cool about this model is it actually is raised up off the ground by one brick. So the whole house is raised up. You can see the lime green bricks on the bottom there. And then there's actually steps going up to the front door. So you've got like a little porch there, right? There's the helium and also the squirrel, which came with the original set as well. And just the original design is so cool with the lime green and that vibrant pink color and just so many different colors. The dark gray roof with the sand blue quarter round tiles there. And this color like sort of framing the roof, the rooster on top, and then all the balloons, right? But in my opinion, the set was definitely lacking. I think it should have came with a complete back. I know it was more of like a display slash play set, but I definitely think that the complete back is massive. It's a huge upgrade. Now, like I've been mentioning, I think I've mentioned it, but I have been using some part substitutions when it came to building this, and the most obvious part substitution is right back here on the second floor. And that, of course, is these tan slopes. They do not look good at all. Oh my gosh, they should be this color. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have any of those in my inventory, so I can make a choice. I can order those, or I can just change up the color of this wall. I just wanted to show you the color that it originally was. Also, I decided to change up the cheese slopes on the top there so that they match the tan slopes. There is a big gap there, and that's one thing that I'm not a huge fan of. I did try multiple things to try and fill that gap. I increased the size of these slopes, but then it collided with the roof because the angle wasn't the same. I put a 1x2 plate underneath those cheese slopes to try and raise those up a bit to fill the gap. That didn't work either because it was actually colliding with the roof itself. If you can think of a way to fill that gap, well, let me know in the comment section below. Obviously, BrickArtisan couldn't think of a way, and he's really good at this type of stuff. So this house is very colorful. I think the exterior of it with the 4 walls is absolutely brilliant. It also has a nicely detailed interior, and there were some additions that were made to it as well. So of course you're able to remove the second floor because it's a modular up house. You just lift this up off the ground floor. You'll see one part substitution, which is blatantly obvious, and that is this dark tan odd shaped plate. I only have one of those, and I don't have any more. So that's unfortunate. Maybe I'll have to order one of those too, but you really can't tell when the second floor is actually placed. So there's all the original awesome interior details, which are a bunch of like sticker elements and, oops, also, I meant to zoom there, not go up. But we've got his armchair there, the little jar, some mail, all sorts of sticker elements, the bird, right? Those are the original details from the interior of the set. But then we also have some additional interior details, such as the kitchen, right? Look at that. There's a little fridge, there's a washing machine, a sink, coffee machine, and then over here, there is a washroom behind that brown door. The washroom is a little bit hard to gain access to. You just got to remove a few things. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to remove this door just so you can see the washroom. There you go. There's a little sink in there and also a toilet. Nothing too crazy. There's like a shower embedded in the wall there as well. Another sticker by these stairs that lead upstairs there as well. So yeah, pretty cool interior details, and there are some interior details on the second floor as well. Getting inside the second floor is fairly straightforward. Just remove this panel right there, and then when you look in, you're going to see the staircase hole and one of the original details, which is that very colorful bed right there, and then another original detail, which is, of course, the television. This armchair is an addition. Now there is one more detail that's a little bit hard to see. The only way that you can access that is by removing this roof panel, which should be fairly easy to remove. There we go. Maybe with 2 hands it would be a little bit easier, but there is one more detail, and that is right there. It's my adventure book. So nothing too crazy in the second floor. Like, there's a lot of open space there, but feel free to add whatever you want, really. I really like the construction of this roof, though. I think there's lots of cool angles that come together quite nicely. And then, of course, you've got the balloons coming out of that like center stack there, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I think it just gets the job done and looks great. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of, once again, is just this gap back there, but I don't know how to fix that. I can fix these colors, though, so what I decided to do was just build this right here in tan, so this will all be tan now. And this panel back here actually represents part substitutions galore. This is my favorite one right here. When you're out of 1x1 bricks and you decide to use 3 1x1 plates stacked on top of one another. You can see at the top there, that's 6 wide, for example. Sorry, I'm shaky. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Too many coffees. Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, that's a 1x6 brick, but I built it with 1x1 plates and 1x2 bricks. There's another example down there. It's 2 1x4 bricks. That could be a 1x8 brick, etc. So I did that when I carried it over to tan, and I plan to make those substitutions now. Oh, I'm so boring. No, why did I have to use tan? Oh, that's so boring. Maybe I should have switched it to like yellow or something. Maybe I should have dug through that slope drawer a little bit more, hey? Boo! It should be colorful like the rest of the Up house, just like the animated film. Hey, I should watch Up tonight. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. Now all I've got to do is find a home for this in the Lego City. Well, let me tell you, everybody, I don't think Carl is too happy with the placement of this. Oh my gosh. They just keep constructing all around him. Does it make sense there? No, not really. It's beside a construction site and across the street from the Daily Bugle. But hey, it actually sort of does make sense, right? It's right on Pop Culture Street, and the city is sort of resurrecting around Carl. Oh man, maybe what I should have done is not built it on a Mills plate. I should have taken the plans and just built it on some regular plates, right? That sort of match the size and shape of the build. And then I could get some fishing line and I could have it floating around the Lego city. How fun would that be? Just like the planes and helicopters and everything. That might have made more sense. And you know what? If I ever run out of room, which is probably bound to happen pretty quickly here, then I will make that adjustment if I need a base plate. Like, hey, what could I do here? Oh, well, I'm just going to take the up house, which is sitting nicely beside the downtown diner and the construction site, and suspend it from the ceiling. I just think that makes a lot of sense, and maybe I'll do that one day. So there was something else on that block there. It was the vinyl store, and I decided to move the vinyl store right over here beside the Ministry of Magic. It sort of makes sense. There's some other like facade style buildings there, and that's actually another Rebrickable model that's done by BrickArtisan, and it sits beside another Rebrickable model which is done by BrickArtisan, the Ministry of Magic. Holy cow, I've built quite a few of his models. He's just a really good designer, and I enjoy them. They're just easy to follow instructions, and for the most part I always have the parts, and they're pretty cool. So yeah, I have no problem supporting BrickArtisan just because I like his craft, you know. I think it's really well done. And I think that up house is really cool, and that's sort of why I wanted to build it in its original form, just to fill a base plate in the Lego City, put it on Pop Culture Street downtown there. I think it's funny, I think it's fun, and maybe it'll change one day, but there it is for now. Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope I got that audio fixed in this video. As I was mentioned this morning, this morning for me, I was struggling a little bit with the audio and the new editing software for this camera, but I think I figured it out. One thing I will say about this camera too is I'm not as happy with the zoom of it. I think it's called what we call a digital zoom. So I don't think there's as much like clarity when you zoom in on stuff, whereas my old cameras are optical zoom, and I just think it's a little bit, you know, better. But yeah, now I'm rambling on about my camera. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this video where we modularized the up house and placed it in the Lego City. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff coming out in the near future. Farewell.